Bye. I'm going to show you guys my review. I give 4 stars. It's more like 3.75 for me, I think. My review quite literally says, this is no offense to blonde men, but like, I thought it was funny. And it says, I knew I could never trust a blonde man, except you, Aaron Warner, because let's be so for real. We're all Aaron Warner stands at the end of the day. Howdy, everybody. Welcome to, or welcome back to my channel. I'm Jackie, and I read too much. But I'm working on the social life part, so everyone will be so proud of me. Literally, rounds of applause. Anyway, today's the last day of the month. If you catch me glancing over here, it's because I have my laptop, and this is where I keep all of my, like, reading notes. Not a journal, but, like, my Goodreads is over here, and I was trying to remember, because I read a lot this month. Anyway, this month, I read 11 books, and I'll tell you my February TBR, but Lord knows I'm not one to stick to TBR, because as soon as you tell me, you have to read this, my brain goes, I'm in the mood for something entirely different. So we'll see. I'm trying to get through my physical TBR that I have in my college town. But first, we're going to go through what I have read so far. So the first 2 books I read this year were Fearless Like Us by Krista and Becca Ritchie and Infamous Like Us by Krista and Becca Ritchie. And I would argue both of those are like they're like 3 stars. Like, they're not good. Like a low 3 star. They're the vibes, you know? I was not ready to give up the core 6, and then I was not getting any of the core 6, and I was like, okay, I'll settle for like Sully, and then I was like, this is not the plot that I originally wanted, but I was like, I'm in too deep to like stop. So I eventually got to the point where I was like, okay, I feel good stopping here with the Like Us series. So those are the first 2 books I read this year, and then I was like, I was in my Kindle era. I had Kindle Unlimited. This is my Kindle. I'll show you her. These stickers are all from Amazon because I'm broke. I need to get some Etsy ones. Some book-specific ones, I think. But I was in my Kindle era, so I read the Like Us series because it was on Kindle Unlimited. Don't tell me what to say. And then I read Night Shift by Annie Crown. Don't waste your time. Don't read it. I don't care how cute the cover is. You don't need to read it. If it's something that you think is super fun and would be for you, it is a very fluffy book. It just doesn't have like any substance whatsoever, which is not my favorite. Like, you can have fun books, but like, I want a little bit of substance. At least sprinkle it in there. And then I continued. I think I gave it like 2 stars. It's like a 2-star book for me. Then I continued my Kindle phase because I was like, I'm getting the most out of Kindle Unlimited. Like, if I'm paying $12, $13, I'm gonna use all $12, $13, you know? And so then I read Mile High by Liz Tomford, which I rated 4 stars. I don't know if I would rate it 4 stars now because of like, I read the sequel and I'm like, oh, that's a 5-star book. Then comparatively, is the other one a 4-star? But I rated it 4 stars. The writing is fun. The main character is a terrible person for a part of the book, and then you get to know him, which is kind of fun because you like get to know the characters as she gets to know the character, which is neat. But if you don't want to read all of the series, and then I recommend you read The Right Move by Liz Tomford, because that might be my favorite boyfriend of all time. Sorry, Gus Everett. Move over. There's a new sheriff in town, Ryan Shea. I gave it 5 stars. He's just like the most attentive person to ever not exist because he's fictional, but he's real in my brain. So like, he was just so perfect. Oh. No one can be perfect, but like, he's the closest thing we have to perfection in human form. But he's not even a human, so I guess that is totally null. Then I read Never Lie by Frida McFadden, and I'm looking at my review right now because I remember liking this enough, but like, nothing really stood out. Bye. I'm gonna show you guys my review. I give 4 stars. It's more like 3.75 for me, I think. My review quite literally says, this is no offense to blonde men, but like, I thought it was funny. And it says, I knew I could never trust a blonde man, except you, Aaron Warner, because let's be so for real. We're all Aaron Warner stands at the end of the day. But yeah, I give it 3.75 stars. I like the way she crafts the character, but her writing's a little simple. And then, let me fight my box set really quick because I keep them together because they look so nice. I read The Titan's Curse by Rick Riordan. And I gave this 4 stars, which, is it a 4 stars for me now? No. But am I the intended audience? No. So I think if I read this when I was, like, of developmentally appropriate age to read it, I would have given it 4 stars. So I tried to think back to little me and what she would have thought of this. She would have enjoyed it. Wouldn't have been a perfect book. And then I read my friend Sarah's, like, one of her more recent 5-star reads. I read Lightlark. I gave this 4.25. This is such a fun fantasy. So funsies. Like, I ate it up. Like, I love betrayal in fantasy. And this has a little bit of betrayal. It's another YA. I think if you're into YA, take a stab. Like, this is so fun. Like, it's just, it's so good. Like, it's definitely not perfect to me, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. I underlined a line. Oh, I love that line. She would never feel ashamed of who she was. I underlined a lot of random things. I liked the rose imagery in this, which is so specific, but I just remember enjoying it. And then, continuing in my Kindle era, I read The Deal by Elle Kennedy, because it's my friend Ava's favorite book, and I gave it 3 stars. Don't kill me, internet. I gave it 3 stars. And it's just because, like, once you meet Ryan J and he's the standard, then nobody's gonna compare. Like, sorry, Garrett Graham. Honestly, he kind of creeps me out a little bit. Just a little bit. Because what do you mean? Firstly, you have that much power over all of campus. I mean, he, like, didn't stalk her, but he did not stalk her. Maybe I should rescind that statement, but he made me a little uncomfortable sometimes with the choices he make. And then, my friend Lucy has this book right now, so I'll insert an image somewhere on the screen, or it'll just cover my entire face, because I didn't set this up to be edited well. I read The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I believe I gave this like a 3.75 stars. It is so Criminal Minds, and I love Criminal Minds, like one of my favorite shows of all time. And so it was so fun to read and just be in this like new episode of Criminal Minds. Oh, that was spooky. I don't know what that was. My heart rate just shot up. Anyway, The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes is like an extra episode of Criminal Minds if like Spencer Reid just sort of like existed in like 4 separate people as opposed to one. And I love Spencer Reid, like one of my favorite characters to ever exist. So it was very fun. One thing about her writing is it's very fast paced, like the chapters are really short. So I flew through this, like I was eating it up. And I was kind of expecting the twist, but not exactly how it went down. But it was fun. Would recommend if you just need, like if you want to get back into reading, her books are so good for it. And then I read the traditionally published version of Binding 13. Look how floppy. That is good flop. Here. Some ASMR mid-video just for you. Yeah. I enjoyed this, but it took me probably about this much of the book to realize I was rooting for them. Because at first I was like, you're just annoying. And then I was like, they're teenagers. It's okay. Like they get an annoying pass. And then I just felt bad because I was like, well, she's going through so much. Like there's just a lot, but I think if you are, I don't even know who to recommend this to. I don't know, it's sort of the like they save each other trope, which I like, but it was more like he saves her, which I don't love when it's like not mutual. Trying to think of other tropes. Oh, I'm gonna keep reading the series because I love Claire. I think she's such a good friend, and I'm curious how her and Gibbs's story unwinds. I also loved the Irish name and settings. I didn't tell you what I rated this. I rated this 3.75. Again, I'm just giving out so many, like, this is almost a 4-star. But hey, that's just my opinion these days. It's so floppy. It's so good. And then, those were the 11 books I read in January, except I started 1 book, so I'm going to count it for my February TBR. Well, technically 2 books, but we'll learn more. This is what my brother got me for Christmas. He got me the Bad Reputation duet, and this is Whatever It Takes and Wherever You Are. So this is the spin-off from the Addicted Calloway Sisters series. That is not the Like Us series. This is Willow and Garrison's story, and I'm eating it up so far. I've been reading for 2 days, and I'm like a decent chunk in. Also, I don't know if I said this or not, but my goal for February is to get mostly through my physical TBR in my college apartment. This one I'm also very excited for. Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross is also on the TBR this month. Also, I don't know who started doing this, but I love the actual hardcover of this book because it's so good. Also, the premise of this book, I eat it up, you know? Devoured. Next, sorry Sarah, you will get this back soon. I have Nightbane. This month is going to be a fantasy month, so that's fun. So I'm excited about this because I had some friends read it. There's a map in this one. I didn't even know there was a map. So this will be in this month as well by Alex Astor. Next, okay, I'm trying to be a smart girly because I've been going through Pinterest and I just see all these like beautiful, amazing quotes that like tear at my heartstrings every time, and then I'm like, these are all from classic novels. The only classic novel I own is Emma by Jane Austen, so I'm gonna try and read it this month. I'm kind of scared, but I think if I look up like a reading guide or something to sort of assist me, it'll definitely help. But I know there's like drama in this, so I'm gonna devour it. That's one thing I love. This is a book I have not seen many people recommend, but it sounds really interesting to me. This is Lies We Sing to the Sea by Sarah Underwood. Yeah. Each spring, Ithaca condemns 12 maidens to the noose. I sacrifice to Poseidon to keep the curse at bay. Yeah. I'm very excited about this. This is YA fantasy slash, this is Percy Jackson world. Okay, that's the best way to explain it. Very excited. I love this cover. I think it's so pretty. Her life to appease a god, his life to save a kingdom, her lies to destroy them all. That's definitely why I bought that. And then finally, last on our February TBR, is this book called Unchill Sleep by Ellie Marney. There was definitely a sticker there once. This is also teenagers working for the FBI, I believe. Yes. I'm just in the mood for teenagers in the FBI this month. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are the 7 books I would like to read in February. That's a lot of books. One every 4 days. And here are the physical copies I currently have with me from January. And then if I get to it, I'm going to read Daughter of No Worlds on my Kindle by Carissa Broadbent. And maybe, just maybe, I'll read Crescent City in March. Crazy! Oh my gosh, okay. Well, these are all the books that I read. The books I intend to read. And thanks so much for watching. And I hope to see y'all next time. Bye.